Well, I was diagnosed just over 12 months ago at the end of October 2011. So yeah, I'm going into my second year. From a prognosis point of view, 5 years. What was going through your mind? That's a strange one really, because it came as a bit of a surprise out of the blue. I didn't have any symptoms. The extremities of it I didn't realise. I didn't realise it were secondary and terminal, which is comes as a bit of a shock, but you know, you deal with these things. So, how has it affected your everyday family life? Well, it's strange as it may seem, I'm actually really enjoying life at the minute. There are the pains and the treatments that I have to deal with, you know, the usual sort of chemotherapy unit and all that sort of, lots of needles and that sort of thing. But that aside, it's sort of opened my eyes a little bit more the way I think we should look at life, you know what I mean? It's not, we don't look at life the way we should do. We take everything, all the bad things in, and we should really look at the good, and we don't. And I'm divorced, but I have an 18-year-old daughter, so obviously initially she was extremely distraught, but through my openness and everything, she's coped with it really well actually, and she's very, very supportive, which makes it easier for her. I am very lucky in that I have an extremely large circle of friends, so I've had support from all over the world. I don't work anymore, purely because the daily feeling's quite varied. It can be one day you can feel okay, the next day you can feel quite ill. My treatment schedule, that sort of started off initially with tablets, followed by an implant in my stomach. Now, if you just had prostate cancer, there's a few treatments they could do. One of those I'm actually having at the moment, and that's hormone treatment. Now what that does, that reduces the testosterone in the male body. Because mine's secondary, I also have treatments at the chemotherapy unit, a treatment that I volunteered for, which is called Zoladex. So the treatment of the Zoladex is to harden the bones and make them more resilient against the cancer. Treatments as it stands at the moment, I'm at the chemotherapy unit once a month. I have actually got one on New Year's Eve. I have an implant in my stomach which reduces the testosterone to 0 every 3 months. I also take tablets twice a day that are calcium and vitamin D tablets, again to strengthen the bone and help the bone structure. I raised over £17,000. That'll increase quite a lot because I've got other things in the pipeline. Within 12 months I'm quite sure that'll be way over 20,000. It wasn't until March, April before I started getting involved with the fundraising. I realised though that even though they do a great job at Macmillan, that the real core element of fundraising needs to be focused at Cancer Research UK. So, and the reason for that is obviously it's a chicken egg situation. If we can cure cancer, we don't need Macmillan. And Macmillan, what they do, they support the families more so than the actual cancer patient, because the cancer patient builds their own resilience through the situation. So the actual idea behind it to change it to Cancer Research UK was that broader aspect, a lot of people touched by cancer would be quite happy to be involved, and hence why we've managed to raise so much so quickly. The next Cancer Research UK fundraiser is in February, which is a sportsman's dinner at Mitten Hall. I'm just in the process of trying to get some speakers for that. That isn't my only fundraiser. I'm currently trying to organise a band to play at King George's Hall in Blackburn. I mean a headline band rather than just a small gig, because I've done a small gig already and I want to do something a little bit more. I do have another scheme that's going ahead, due to be launched within the next 4 weeks, which is called Climbers Against Cancer, going worldwide. It's because of my links with climbing and friends around the world, so many people are supporting this. So the idea is to spread the word of awareness and fundraising right across the globe. Now that will be for Cancer Research UK, but it will also be donating to research facilities around the planet really. The plan of that is that the t-shirts are already printed, is to get top climbers around the world to wear the t-shirts to then encourage other climbers and supporters and family to purchase the t-shirts. The money that's made, all the money that's made, will basically go towards research into curing cancer. So Cancer Research UK will get a chunk of that, and other cancer charities around the world will as well. So Climbers Against Cancer is the most interesting purely because it's dealing with people all corners of the globe. You know, I've had interest from Australia, America, you name it. Once it takes off, it could actually be like the new Livestrong. What made you volunteer to take part in chemical trials? Well, again, I'm that sort of person. I think if it's not a case of shortening my life, it's a case of hopefully lengthening it by finding a cure before, you know, time catches up with me, but also helping other people, making their lives better. So in the future, you know, if I can go somewhere to helping other people, that's great. What more could be done to raise awareness of cancer? It needs to be highlighted more on the television, on the radio. I like to think that my view of dealing with terminal cancer makes more people aware, because I'm very open in it. When my mother died when I was young, she had cancer. She didn't speak about it at all. And by keeping people in the dark, it actually just makes matters worse, because you don't understand what's going on. You haven't got a full appreciation of what's actually happening. But I've not changed my personality to suit cancer. Cancer's just like come along and hitched a ride, really. And I'm the same person I was before. You know, I'm always happy, go lucky. You know, I'm not saying I never moaned about stuff, but you know, sort of. You know, I've always been quite friendly, sociable and stuff like that. So for me, it wasn't an hard job to do, to be the same as I was always. What more can the general public do? Well, the obvious answer is to donate more money, really. But it's without the public's help, you know, we wouldn't have these cures, we wouldn't have these research facilities. So we can be more open about it. You don't always look at the negative stories. There's a lot of positive stories about cancer. This links me to the next thing. You know, the Stand Up to Cancer campaign will make a positive impact. Obviously, because you're bringing it to the public through the TV. I think there are a few slight, I wouldn't say failings, because everybody tried their best to do it, and it was the first show. There were a couple of things that I thought personally they could have actually done a little bit more with. It's not knocking anybody here, because trial by error sort of thing, you learn from mistakes. But I think by focusing on very, very ill people and showing almost like playing the sympathy vote, for me, it doesn't always work. I think you also have to show positive things and people that have been cured, so people can realise that that person that's really ill and is, like myself, highly likely to die at some point. Some of these people actually get cured, so it's showing what the good work has done. The sad stories, I think people find that so upsetting and they think it's never going to happen to them. Channel 4 did it, and Channel 4 is a great channel. Davina McCall always does a good job on stuff like that, and she has got a link to that. Yeah, like the doctor fella on the programme, I thought looked a little bit uncomfortable.